I blame Obama.
Yeah, why is that?
Because the precedent for going after journalists was set with Snowden and with Assange, and then the Obama administration went after James Rosen. So the idea that this is the first time, no, this is something that's been in motion for a long time. And there's a lot of people around this table and other pundits and stuff that have been vocal about how it's a bad thing that, Snowden hasn't been pardoned and Assange hasn't been pardoned.
Welcome back to the channel. This is the Phil that remains. Phil is always on the Timcast show, Timcast IRL show, Tim Pool. And what are they talking about? Well, they're talking about Owen Schroyer, a journalist of InfoWars who has been found guilty. They're trying to sentence him for 120 days up to 10 years for his speech. And that's really what it boils down to. Let's listen to a little bit more of what they're saying.
The fact that we have allowed the government to get away with it is why it continues. Now, the situation we're in right here, if this does happen and he goes to jail for speech, it's only going to be worse. There's not going to be someone that says, okay, that's enough. BS. They're going to be like, all right, that worked. The American people allowed it. This is a new power we have.
He is absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I'm going to let this clip play out so you guys can understand exactly what's going on. And okay, he's absolutely right.
We can do this. So
let's go back in time. Let's go back to when the Biden administration targeted James Rosen, a journalist, tried to put him in jail. When Obama charged whistleblowers and journalists under the Espionage Act more than any other president combined, than all the other presidents combined.
Yeah.
Imagine going back then when we were concerned about this and telling people in 10 years, they're going to put a guy in jail because he was on the Capitol grounds bullhorning. And then after the fact, he said stuff like, to a certain degree, we should be proud of what we did that day. He said something like, he maintains the election was stolen. One of the reasons they want him in jail is because they said, even after all of this, he still maintains the election was stolen. As if he has to publicly change his opinion. Yeah, this is Soviet level. This is culture.
This is Haiti. Yes, this is Haiti. So Owen Schroyer, I'm going to show you his picture. This is Owen Schroyer. He was at the Capitol on that fateful day, and he was outside with Alex Jones. Now, you have to understand, a lot of people went down to the Capitol that day with the feeling of we need to fight for our country. I remember having that feeling too. I didn't go to the Capitol, but I remember having that feeling and thinking, oh my goodness, if Joe Biden becomes president, we're going to see catastrophe. Things are going to decline rapidly. And even in my wildest nightmares, I still can't believe what I'm seeing today. I still can't believe that we are basically fighting a hot war with Russia, as far as I'm concerned, because we have American boots on the ground, but nobody talks about it. The transfer of wealth that's happening with sending money to Ukraine, and it allegedly, in my opinion, going right back in the pockets of Joe Biden. But that is another video. That's all the videos that I've been talking about. But Owen Schroyer had said, even though he said we should be proud of what we did that day and all of that other stuff, he was outside with Alex Jones telling people, don't go in the Capitol. Don't do it. They're going to blame us for it. They're going to make the story about all of that. I remember seeing the footage of Alex Jones being outside and saying those words, okay? InfoWars host Owen Schroyer pleaded guilty in June to a single Class A misdemeanor of entering and remaining in the restricted building or on the grounds of January 6, 2021. Now, he never entered the building. Sadly, what happens to people, and what we know, Black folk have been saying this for a while. It's true. They'll tell you, just plead guilty to this. But I wasn't there. Yeah, but you don't have the money to keep on fighting. You don't have money to have lawyers for years and years and years and fight. Listen, you'll get a little quick, maybe four months or whatever, and then that's it. And then it ends up that you do 10 years and they lie to you. So it's like a hook and a bait and switch. That's what they do. And they probably told that to him. And nobody has money to have lawyers for years and years. The highly talented journalist was initially charged in August 2021, 8 months after remaining outside of the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. After nearly 2 years of fighting, and he was already fighting for 2 years, fighting charges related to his presence outside the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, Owen made the decision to plead guilty to a lesser charge. Again, the bait and switch. Schroyer allowed the government to review his social media accounts, likely looking for any scrap of incriminating wrongthing they could find. Absolutely. Owen stood outside the U.S. Capitol. Owen and Alex Jones warned people about going inside the Capitol. They knew it was a setup. Instead of being awarded medals for their actions that day, the regime arrested Owen months later on bogus charges. After all, he is a Trump supporter. Today, DOJ prosecutors sought 120 days of prison time for Owen. They want him to be prosecuted. They want him prosecuted for speech crimes. You hear that? Who are the real criminals here? Do not fool yourself. The regime wants to treat every Trump supporter like this. They want to jail us all, and they will do just that if we let them. And I truly believe this. I do, because, when I heard Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez say that we need to go after everybody who even voted for him, who even allowed this to happen, I was thinking like, oh, here she go talking like a woman, But I'm watching this, it's starting with Trump, with lawyers. Now it's going down to media personalities, and it's going to come down the pike. It's going to come down the pike. But the question is, are you ready to give up America like this? Are you ready to say, oh, it's okay? Are you ready to say, oh, it's okay, I shouldn't think this way anyway? Because them wanting him to believe that the election was legit is absolutely bizarre to me, because I don't believe it was legit. Most Americans don't. So how far does this go? It is happening. And it is the constant wake-up call to me to broaden my horizons, because they're coming for everybody, and they will shut us down, but they can't shut us up.